Day brings its ups and downs, celebration and disappointment, anxiety and relief, friends and enemies. You can always argue over who should have won, but everyone can agree on great food. Appetizers, entrees, drinks, party platters, or even the taste of sweet victory. There's something for every season at Eat With Us restaurants.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
Well, good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. You have made it through the work week. I know last weekend we talked about beautiful conditions on the horizon. Just got to get through Monday through Friday until we can enjoy them. And technically, we started enjoying them yesterday. I'm meteorologist Caleb Edelblut here to give you the very latest as we continue into the weekend ahead, and still talking about those beautiful conditions on the horizon, what we're already experiencing. It's going to stick with us for a while. So let's get into this broadcast. We have the last chilly overnight period ahead tonight. Those are kind of for those temperatures that are pretty much around freezing. We've seen these all work week long, pretty much even into the start of the weekend. Tonight's going to be the last chance we see these low temperatures or get as low as they can. From here on out, we're going to start seeing 40s into 50s and going to be a warmer start to the work week and the work day. So enjoy this chilly overnight period because it'll be a while until we see these chilly conditions return. But we're also going to be ready for those shorts weather. That is here. It is going to stay for a while. We're going to see these above average conditions continue into the work week ahead. So for all of those wishing for a wardrobe change, well, here you go. The weather has arrived. We are going to enjoy every second of it. But also, we're not going to be staying dry forever. We've been having dry conditions all across North Mississippi this past week, even into the weekend ahead. But we're going to be talking about those rain chances, trying to make their way back into the forecast, and models are showing maybe some chances of some thunderstorms and a significant line moving on through North Mississippi later on at the end of the work week into next weekend. But not really perfecting that timing yet. Of course, we're going to continue to fine tune that all week long, but I'm going to give you the very latest tonight and especially for the next few days coming ahead. But let's focus on the first 12 here in North Mississippi. We are still talking about clear skies above us. 44 degrees for your temperature by 7 o'clock, cooling on down towards the upper 30s by 10. But as we continue into the overnight period, that cloud cover going to continue to build on up just slightly. 33 degrees by 1 o'clock, still near freezing, dropping below freezing by 4 o'clock, seeing temperatures around 31. Still even talking about upper 20s by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Enjoy this for those of y'all who love those frigid conditions because, like I said, this will be the last night where we can really enjoy them before we start seeing a warmer start to our day. But here's one of my favorite things that's happening right now. We're finally getting to that time of the year where we're actually seeing somewhat of a sunset and glow. This is still facing the opposite direction, but we're not talking about pitch black skies across our Skycam network. This is out there in Starkville, the west side of it, of course. 50 degrees, feels like 50 as well. That dew point around 34, so already showing more saturated environment as compared to last weekend when I was here with you guys. A sign that that moisture being brought back into our atmosphere and also going to allow us to feel a lot warmer as well. That's part of what's responsible. But here we go. There we go with that sunset glow out there in Shelby. 48 degrees, feels like 45, so still seeing that wind affect us just a little bit, but nowhere near as significant as the past few weeks have been. A beautiful glow out there on the horizon, not much clouds, but also those high pressure sunsets are still beautiful. Just seeing that color change as it gets closer and closer towards the horizon. So still beautiful conditions, beautiful skylines as you wrap up your Saturday night. Same thing out here in Tupelo, not really looking towards any sunsets, but 46 degrees, feels like 44, clear skies above you. You even see just a little star next to our Mitchell Cunningham Bowling sponsor. Thanks again for sponsoring this Tupelo camera. But beautiful skies as we wrap up our Saturday and get ready for the overnight period ahead. But we're also staying very dry across North Mississippi, not tracking anything across our state, especially here on the northern half. We're going to continue to pretty much track out dry conditions as we continue into the overnight period. Now, some models are going to show some rain showers throughout our Sunday. I'm going to show you that we're not really that confident on them, but definitely want to give you the very latest as we continue into this broadcast ahead. But surface analysis is showing kind of why we're staying dry here in North Mississippi. One, we don't really have any weather makers within our area, but we have that high pressure system directly north of us, and that's what's helping us stay dry, but also allowing us to stay a lot more better off with these temperatures ahead, not really funneling in that northerly wind as dominantly as past high pressure systems have. So beautiful conditions are going to stick around as we continue into the work week ahead. But hey, let's not think about the work week. We still have a weekend to get through. Thankfully, going to see a much warmer Sunday as compared to our Saturday. So let's check that out here right on Futurecast. We can still see those dry conditions all across North Mississippi and still seeing somewhat of that northerly wind affect us, not as dominant as it has been in the past, which is why you can see that wind chill not really affecting us as much as we continue into our Saturday evening. But here we go with that cloud cover. Moving on in across North Mississippi, trying to affect us just a little bit, but this is during the overnight period, not really going to bother us. High pressure system just formed to the east side of Mississippi, but let's take a look at this. Let me bring out my pencil because I always love drawing and explaining things to you guys. Notice that wind coming out of the south. That's what's making us feel a lot warmer and a lot better and closer to those temperatures outdoors. This is what's going to bring all that moisture back into our atmosphere and allow those feels like and temperatures to pretty much match up perfectly. Not going to see a shift, a change in that pattern as we continue into our weekend. This is what's responsible for our beautiful conditions. We are rooting for these southerly winds, but of course that will eventually build that moisture up to allow to see some of those rain chances later on into the work week. But that is what's allowing us to feel a lot better as we wrap up our weekend and get ready for the work week ahead. So those 60s, low 70s coming back into the forecast, you have those southerly winds to thank as we get ready for the work week. But the next 24, I'm going to show these beautiful conditions starting off. We're starting off with mostly clear conditions by 6 o'clock, 30 degrees at the start of your Sunday morning. Warming up 10 degrees already by 9 o'clock. Temperatures around 40, mid-50s by 12 o'clock, topping out in the low 60s across North Mississippi, but also with that southerly motion, bringing in that moisture back into our atmosphere. We're going to start seeing cloudier skies by the time you are wrapping up your Sunday, getting ready for your Monday. Of course, those temperatures will eventually start dropping as well. Mid-50s by that 6 o'clock broadcast time tomorrow, and then we'll talk about mid-40s as you wrap up your Sunday night and get ready for the work week. But of course, it is still the weekend here in North Mississippi. You have worked hard to get here. So let's talk all things for your Sunday coming up and get ready for the work week ahead. All of that's coming up after this break.
I have been going to Two Place Smiles my whole life. When I was a kid, I was unhappy about some uneven coloring on my teeth after getting my braces off, which at the time there really wasn't a fix. I was recently made aware of a solution that would totally fix it, which is exactly what we did. They not only heard my concerns, but they never stopped looking to solve my problem, and that's why I love Two Place Smiles.
As a bankruptcy firm, Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling realizes many people are worried about their finances. We're here to guide you through the next steps to restart your life with easy video appointments. New clients don't have to leave home to get information about becoming debt-free. Also, convenient in-office appointments are available at the low cost of $340 upfront for a Chapter 13. You can be on your way to being debt-free. Contact Mitchell, Cunningham & Bowling today or visit our website at mcdebtfree.com. We are here to help you.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 6. Let's continue this broadcast, tracking out the rest of your evening with our evening planner. Beautiful conditions continue to persist. 42 degrees by 8 o'clock, still seeing those clear skies above. Now that cloud cover will start to build in just a little bit, but not really affecting us as this will occur during the overnight period. But those temperatures, they're also going to drop 33 degrees by 2 o'clock, and we definitely will cross that freezing point, start to see some upper 20s pop up across North Mississippi. Like I mentioned last night, where we really see those chilly temperatures, so enjoy them because it will be a while until they return. But let's take a look at those temperatures all across North Mississippi for your Saturday evening as we get ready for the evening ahead. Pretty much low 50s all across North Mississippi. The further up towards the Tennessee state line, we're starting to talk about mid 40s. 45 out there in Corinth, 44 Holly Springs, 47 South Haven, and 46 out there in Senatobia. Even Tunica already getting a head start on those cooler temperatures in the low 40s, around 43 this evening. But let's track out the rest of your evening and overnight period. This is Futurecast, still showing somewhat of that northerly wind move across North Mississippi, making some of us feel just a little bit cooler than those actual temperatures outdoors, but we are staying dry all night long. There we go with some of that cloud cover moving in by the 10 o'clock broadcast time, but we're still pretty much talking about clear skies above us It's not until post-midnight and into those AM hours where that cloud cover tries to blanket us, allowing a partly cloudy start to the day. And that will kind of continue throughout the rest of your Sunday. But that wind pattern already starting to shift just a little bit, coming out of the southeast as well, allowing us to feel and see much warmer temperatures tomorrow. But take a look at those low temperatures, that shade of blue. Going to be a while until we see this again. We are going to be above average for the rest of the weekend and work week ahead, or well, technically for the work week ahead. Sunday is going to be our last low temperatures for the weekend. Low 30s, upper 20s across North Mississippi, 29 in Vernon, 28 Hamilton, 29 again in Red Bay, Iuka, Booneville, Corinth, New Albany, 31 Holly Springs, Oxford, and Water Valley, 33 out there in Senatobia. So going to be a chilly start to your Sunday, but don't worry, those warmer temperatures, they're going to reach you by the afternoon hours and pretty much stick with you as we get ready for the work week ahead. But of course, with it being Saturday night and getting ready for church tomorrow, let's take a look at that church forecast. 29 degrees by the time you walk out of the door, so still make sure you have those layers on as you start off your Sunday morning. Just not going to want to keep them on all day. Mid-50s already by the time you are getting out of church, heading towards your favorite post-church lunch venue. 60 by 3 o'clock, still seeing those mostly cloudy skies start to make their way back into the forecast, then already back down towards the low 50s by 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. So a beautiful and dry forecast ahead for your Sunday. So let's take a visual and look at that right here on Futurecast. We can already see those partly cloudy skies by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning as you start off your Sunday, and they're going to kind of bug us all day long. Not really going to see those clear skies. And here we go with that model, starting to kind of add some rain chances here into Futurecast. I'm not really agreeing with it, but giving us some color to look at, especially across the Mississippi River out into Arkansas, but still staying dry into the lunchtime period. And this model still pushing that rainfall across North Mississippi. I'm honestly expecting all of us to stay dry throughout our Sunday. It's still showing maybe some rain chances throughout the dinner time hours. Just kind of remove the green from this model. Not really expecting that. I'm expecting we stay dry throughout the rest of our weekend. Now, these rain changes will come back into the forecast. I'm expecting that's more of a Tuesday night into Wednesday situation. We're staying dry throughout our Sunday and even into our Monday as well. But those high temperatures, warm as we get ready for the Sunday afternoon ahead. Mid to low 60s all across North Mississippi. 61 in Amory and Hamilton. Still some upper 50s, 57 in Red Bay, Iuka, Booneville, and Corinth, but 62 Oxford, 64 Water Valley, 66 Grenada, 67 in Greenwood, Belzona, and Greenville. A beautiful Sunday forecast ahead. Our normal is around 56, so we're already starting to see those above average conditions replace these below average conditions we've been experiencing for pretty much the majority of 2026. So a nice change of pace, but I also know it's winter. Some people love the cooler weather, but it's going to be a little while until we start to enjoy it again. Those feels like values going to feel amazing outdoors. Not really seeing a change with those temperatures and feels like values, that wind not having an effect on us tomorrow. So get outside, enjoy the day tomorrow. It will be a beautiful one. And of course, with it being a beautiful day, got to put in that park planner. We're close to those temperatures where I could honestly throw in those ice cream planners back into the show. And that is weird to say in February here in North Mississippi. But 7 o'clock, starting off your day, around 29 degrees, still going to be a cold start, working your way up towards the mid 50s, eventually 60 degrees by 3 o'clock, and already back into the low 50s by 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. We're staying dry, not expecting any of these rain changes. This model still trying to put some along the Mississippi-Tennessee state line. Not quite expecting that. I'm expecting that we stay dry all day long throughout our Sunday, but who knows? Maybe we can see a stray shower or two. They already disappear. This is what I'm expecting. Dry skies and eventually clear skies, even more rain showers trying to move on through. That wasn't even there when I was putting the show together. So those models still trying their best to give us something to look at here. I'm expecting we start off our Monday morning pretty much dry all across North Mississippi. And we're going to stay dry and a lot more clearer throughout our Monday as well. As compared to those partly cloudy skies throughout our Sunday, we're going to see pretty much sunny, if not mostly sunny skies throughout our Monday. This is lunchtime around 12:30 as you start off your work week. Going into those evening hours as well. Still seeing clear and dry skies by lunchtime around 6:30. And even continuing this into the overnight period as we get ready for our Tuesday by 1 o'clock. That moisture starting to build back in just a little bit with some of that cloud cover moving on in across North Mississippi. But ignore the green. I'm still not high on those rain chances. I think they still have to fight an uphill battle, but maybe a stray shower or two can't be ruled out, but I'm expecting most of us to stay dry, if not all of us, throughout our Sunday and definitely into our Monday. But take a look at these high temperatures. This is not what we should be talking about here in North Mississippi during February. We're talking about low 70s already back into the forecast. way above average. As you can still see, that normal is around 56 for this time of year, but 74 in Vernon, Columbus, Aliceville, 73 Starkville, 74 again in Houston, 71 Oxford, 68 out there in South Haven and Tunica, and 69 out there in Clarksville. A beautiful start to the work week. I know Mondays aren't our favorite days, but hey, with these conditions, and maybe we can walk with a pep in our step as we get ready for work and across campus for those still in school. But those future feels like values, I mean, almost identical. It'll be a beautiful forecast Monday, and I'm very excited for that shorts weather to finally be here as I walk across that Mississippi State campus. But let's take a look at that 7-day forecast, because there's a lot to unpack here as we get ready for our work week ahead, and we're definitely going to be fine-tuning some rain chances as we get closer to them, but focusing on the weekend. Dry conditions, high of 60 for your Sunday with those partly cloudy skies above. Starting to see clearer conditions throughout your Monday, upper 60s, still seeing some of those low 70s return as well. I could probably bump that up as we get ready for that 10 o'clock broadcast too, so stay tuned for that. But of course, Tuesday, warming up even some more. Low 70s all across North Mississippi with those partly, if not mostly cloudy skies above. Now, imagine there's a 10% chance for your rain, because I am forecasting some of those rain chances to come back into your forecast Tuesday evening, but too close to that midnight hour. I think most of that's going to affect us Wednesday. The good news is that affects us pretty much in the AM hours. Most of our Wednesday should go on dry, especially lunchtime and on, but could see a soggy start to your day as you start off your Wednesday morning. Of course, we're going to continue fine-tuning that as we get closer towards hump day. But what we're really tracking is maybe some potential storms moving on through North Mississippi Friday and into Saturday. Now, you can already see how this forecast has shifted from this work week into this weekend. That's because models not really lining up with that timing. Originally, it was more on Friday. Now it's more on Saturday. So we still have a ways to go. We are not trying to perfect that forecast 6 days out, but that is something that we are definitely continuing to watch. But right now, 20% chance of rain for your Friday. Still expecting most of that kind of pushed off towards Saturday. Higher chance there, 30% with a chance of thunderstorms. But Valentine's Day weekend, that's going to be a weekend that we're going to want to watch very closely as we get closer to it. But hey, for right now, we are enjoying beautiful conditions across North Mississippi. Excited to enjoy and keep talking about them with you all. But don't go anywhere. I want to track out kind of what those highs look like for all of you. Our 7-day forecast shows these upper 60s, some low 70s. But let's talk about specific cities and what you can see as you go about your work week. All of that's coming up after this break.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
Well, I'm catching up on the comments behind the scenes, and it looks like all of y'all are right with me, expecting these warmer conditions, or more so enjoying them as they get closer and closer here to North Mississippi. Someone even commented that it is ice cream is good all year long. So you know what? I think that ice cream planner might make its way back into the broadcast either tomorrow night or definitely throughout our Sunday. So I'll have to keep you guys posted on that. But let's take a look at our temperature outlook as we get ready for the work week ahead. Remember, this is from the 13th of February to the 17th. So not affecting us in these immediate days, but pretty much right along next weekend and into the start of next work week. These above average conditions, they're not going anywhere. We already see them starting to affect us this week. They're going to affect us into next weekend and into the start of the next work week as well. But this isn't just affecting us here in North Mississippi. Pretty much the entire state is seeing these above average conditions. Going to be a little bit more intense the further west you go, especially out there in Texas, Oklahoma, even parts of Arkansas and Louisiana, and not as intense the further east you go, but pretty much all the southeast seeing right around average, or if not definitely above average conditions and temperature-wise, making its way towards us throughout the rest of the work week and into next weekend. But those high temperatures, we already covered Sunday. Let's take a look at Monday. Still seeing some of those low 70s up to mid 70s, especially the further southeast you go into our viewing area. 74 out there in Columbus, Vernon, Aliceville, 73 Amory and Bruce, Water Valley, 69 in Senatobia, 68 in South Haven and Tunica. So a beautiful forecast throughout your Monday. We covered this in our broadcast as well, but still wanted to show that as we get ready for the work week. But let's even talk about our Tuesday. Low 70s all across the board. Still talking about a few upper 60s. Red Bay and Iuka still around 69. But a beautiful forecast and that beautiful trend continuing into your Tuesday. 73 out there in Amory, Houston, Bruce, Grenada, Greenwood, Belzona, and 72 out there in Greenville. So pretty much the 70s all across the board. beautiful conditions as we get going into our work week, but even into Wednesday, starting to see some of those upper 60s start to return back into our forecast. 66 in Red Bay, Iuka and Corinth, 67 Holly Springs, 68 Senatobia, and 67 out there in Tunica, but still talk about some low 70s, especially out there in the Golden Triangle region. 73 in Columbus, Starkville, and I would assume West Point as well. 73 Macon, 72 Louisville, 74 out there in Kosciuszko. But let's go into our Thursday as well. Starting to get a little bit more warm and more intense. Definitely a different color shade that we have not tracked here in February across North Mississippi. 75 in Columbus and Starkville, Louisville, 76 out there in Kosciuszko and Belzona, 72 Cleveland, 67 still out there in Tunica, and 66 South Haven. I think y'all are the coolest in this graphic, so still beautiful conditions continue. But let's take a look at Friday, and that's where we start to see just a shift affect us here in North Mississippi, which is why those rain chances, I could honestly bump those up still, even with those models not quite agreeing. You can definitely tell something's making its way through North Mississippi, going to cool us off. Of course, that's going to be associated with a cold front, and that could bring some stronger showers across North Mississippi as well that we're going to continue to track out and fine tune as we get closer and closer. But this is for Friday. We're talking about low 60s all across North Mississippi, even some mid to upper 50s. 56 out there in Red Bay, Iuka and Corinth, 56 Holly Springs, 55 South Haven, 56 Tunica, but further on the southeast side, 62 in Starkville, 63 Columbus, 61 Amory, Bruce, and 62 out there in Grenada. So starting to see some cooler temperatures make their way back, if we can even say cooler temperatures, definitely relative to what we're about to experience with those above average conditions, but showing that cold front possibly making its way through Friday, if not Saturday. We're going to continue to fine tune that as well. And of course, that leads us to our rain chances throughout the next 7 days. We're going to see kind of a bit of a roller coaster as we get closer towards the work week. We're staying dry throughout our Sunday and Monday, even compared to what that model is showing. Still expecting those dry conditions, rising just a little bit for your Tuesday. Now, I'm expected to keep this around 10% just due to it affecting us around midnight. Now, if that were to move up just a little bit, could see a soggy into our Tuesday night, but pretty much post midnight and on, we're going to start to see those rain chances affect us throughout our Wednesday morning. And this could be just a little bit higher, but since this affects us basically midnight to, let's say, I think it was around 8 o'clock, most of our Wednesday should stay dry. So hoping we can keep it that way and it can affect us throughout the overnight hours, not tracking anything strong or severe, just some rain showers moving on through. Going back to dry for your Thursday. Then Friday and Saturday, this is going to be the days that we are going to want to continue to watch all weekend long and into the next work week. Tracking maybe some storm chances as a cold front will move on through North Mississippi. We already saw that temperature drop and change as we wrap up our work week. So we're going to keep our eyes on that all weekend long. And of course, throughout the work week, as we get closer and closer, we'll make sure to continue fine tuning that as we wrap up yet another work week here in North Mississippi. And of course, if you want to stay updated with us, here's the QR code to both our iOS and Android app. We appreciate all the support you have given us, but also the feedback. We want to make sure to continue looking at any emails you send us for what works for the app, what doesn't work, what y'all like to see. We want to make sure it is the best and tip-top shape for all of you guys out there. So we appreciate any requests you guys send in. But I hope all of y'all are having a fantastic weekend so far. I know it has felt amazing outdoors. Even took the dog for a walk yesterday with my mom at the park, and it was amazing. So definitely going to be seeing those beautiful conditions continue into our Sunday. Very excited to talk about them, but also a new model run will come out later tonight before the 10 o'clock, and expected to see somewhat of that timing try to shift just a little bit. I'll make sure to update those rain chances as well. But I hope all of y'all continue to have a fantastic Saturday evening. I'll see y'all back here in the Room to Room Weather Center tonight at 10.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter, and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy